Do you feel like you may be approaching an age where you are maybe stagnant? This life you are living now is all that there is until you get to retirement, or maybe you're in retirement and it's not quite looking the way you thought it would look. Do you feel like you might be simply too old to reinvent yourself and maybe try something new? Whether that is a new fitness routine or something else related to your health, you are never too old to begin fresh. And I know I reinvented myself in my 40s, and my guest today, Lesley McShane, is living proof of this as well. She and I have some good things in common, which you will see as we talk about health and fitness in this interview. So let me tell you a little bit about Lesley. Lesley McShane is a seasoned award-winning communicator with a 30-year career in educational film and television. She has contributed work to many museums and historical installations, including Museum of the American Revolution, Walt Disney's Hall of Presidents, the National African American Music Museum, and the Statue of Liberty Museum. Lesley is a runner, competitive cyclist, a 3-time national cycling champion, and ACSM certified personal trainer. She started and coached a junior development cycling team in Louisville, Kentucky that led to many national championships, awards, as well as appearances in European racing. She is also a writer and the host of the Redesigning Midlife with Lesley McShane podcast that focuses on helping women prioritize their health and wellness now to live happier longer. She has spent the last 3 years encouraging other midlife women to redesign their own midlife by developing consistent, healthy habits that will help them achieve whatever they want while in a community with others. I am sure you will enjoy my conversation with Lesley, so you might want to just grab a mug of tea or coffee, get cozy, or pop those earbuds in and go for a walk while we chat about health and wellness. Are you a Christian woman over 40 who is struggling with consistently low energy and fatigue? Are you tired of trying to navigate the ever-changing health chatter all around you? And do you wish there was a simple solution to just feeling good? Boy, do I see you and I hear you. Hi, I'm Michelle, and as a holistic health coach and fellow midlifer, I have realized the answer to our whole health concerns isn't in the online search bar, those fad diets, and endless exhausting workouts. Listen, beautiful mama, as the heartbeat of your home, you have spent your life caring for others well. So now is the time to take good care of yourself, get back your energy, and reclaim your entire health during this season. So if you are ready to stop striving and start thriving as your healthiest whole self, then you are in the right place. Grab your iced coffee, a notebook and pen, and let's treasure your wellness. Hi, Lesley. Welcome to the show. It's so good to have you.
I'm so excited to be here, Michelle. So excited to be here.
Good. Well, I'm excited to have you too, because we just have so much in common with, not only the fact that we are midlifers, aging gracefully, right?
That's right.
We have just more of a holistic lifestyle kind of in common, right? Would you say?
Right. We're very keen to take care of ourselves.
Yes,
now.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have this one body. It's very, very important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take care of it. So you are a personal trainer, a certified personal trainer, and a former competitive cyclist, which is super impressive. And you were a 3 times national champion?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, tell us what brought you to your passion and your background in fitness.
You know, I was one of those high school kids. Luckily, I went to a high school where we didn't have a lot of students. And in order to field teams in all the sports, kind of everybody had to play. So we never had tryouts for anything, thank goodness, because I was never big time athletic. You know, it wasn't, I played at it. let's say that. But I was able to do a lot of things in high school. And when you are kind of given no limits on what you can try and what you're able to do, you kind of live by that. So, as I got older and into my 20s, I loved going to the gym. And when I met my husband, he was racing bicycles. And it was one of those things where, like anything, it's kind of, there weren't a lot of women cycling at the time. It was kind of I wouldn't say it was a new thing. You just didn't see a lot of women racing bicycles, but it's one of those things that if somebody else is doing it, then I can do that. So, I gave it a try and I loved doing that. And it was the thing that we had in common. And we got married, we started our family. And so and then our children were raised by people at bike races every weekend. We had that kind of lifestyle where we weren't sitting around the house on the weekend. We were going to bike races every weekend. And that's how my kids were raised. And so we kind of passed on that love of fitness to them because of that. But as I've gotten older, they've been involved in their sports and their activities, and so I wasn't able to ride my bike as much, and so I started running and doing that. And then eventually you get to the point where your kids leave, and then you're kind of like, well, what am I gonna do now? And one day my husband came in from a bike ride and I'm just kind of like, okay, who was there? And what was everybody talking about? What's the scuttlebutt? And he's kind of like, why don't you just come back out on your bike? And I did. This was, a few years ago, and I started riding again. And, it's become my social time. It's where I go see my friends and hang out with my buds and get my exercise in. And I've loved that camaraderie of fitness. And I want everybody to feel that. And not everybody wants to ride a bike. Maybe they want to join a walking club or running club, or maybe they want to go to the gym and work out. Maybe they just want to go to their basement and work out. And so I was getting to the point where I was kind of like, I'm looking at other women around me in their 50s, and I was joining some Facebook groups and trying to find my community in the 50 plus world. And I was seeing a lot of women say the same thing. They wish that they were more active, but they didn't know how to do that, or they wish they had the motivation to do that. And just kind of like, I can do that. I can motivate them, because this is a wonderful way to live, to have an active lifestyle. And I knew, because of everything that I had done in my past, and the fact that I had coached kids along the way and coached some other women, that I could do it. But I decided to kind of make it quote unquote official. And so I got my certification to be a certified personal trainer in this last year. So I kind of feel legit. I was already able to do it, but now I kind of feel legit. And so now I am excited to share that message that, it's never too late. You're never too old to start a fitness journey.
I love that so much. It is so good. And we were talking earlier before we hit record about how it's never too late to start something new. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. It doesn't matter how old you are. Think of all the wonderful people that we have followed in years past. They started in their 50s and 60s even. And so that's what's really beautiful about it. And as you were talking, it just reminded me of when my son and his wife got married. They had, do you know the road ID bracelets?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think every cyclist should have the road ID bracelet, because you wear that when you're out on the road, and it gives your address, your phone number of somebody to contact in case of an emergency. Super important. And my son and my husband had those when they were riding back in high school, college days. And then when my son and his wife got married, they actually gave each other new road ID bracelets with their contact information. And so it was just, as you were talking, that reminded me, because a lot of people still ride on the roads, and
Yes.
we are kind of beyond that, just because there's not a lot of respect for cyclists on the roads anymore. So we also will ride. When we ride, we are on the trails and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
and for winter, we've set up our trainers for inside. So
Yes.
I'm
That's
not an
me. That's
avid.
me every day.
Yeah, you have your trainer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not like a cyclist by any means, and it's literally been a year probably since I've been on my bike, but like fresh start, right? So we've set up our trainers. My husband all winter long, he's on his bike.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to do other things. I really like to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
And so walking is my thing,
Yeah.
stretching, hit workouts. Those are my kind of things. But this
Yeah.
year I am getting back up on the trainer. It's been
You
2 years since.
don't have to do it every day. If
Exactly.
you throw that ride in once a week
Absolutely.
or twice a week, at the end of the month, you've gotten in, 8, 10 rides on your bike, and
Absolutely.
it will make a big difference. Once you get back out onto the road, it will make a huge difference.
Yeah. No,
Just that
it's
little bit.
very true. It
Mm-hmm.
is. And also, it's a good chance for us to kind of connect too. We're so
Yes.
busy during the week. So even if we
Yes.
just pick one day a weekend, like, okay, we're going to get up on our trainers, it's just, I mean, he'll do it more often, but it is nice. It's just such a good whole body workout.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, cross training, even if you're not trying to train, with
Right.
walking, running, swimming, all good exercises to move your
It
body.
is, because when you're
Yeah,
doing that, I mean, you're using all parts of your body as opposed to, just your legs and your core to stay stable on your bike.
absolutely.
When you're doing other things, then you get that side to side motion that you don't get
Right.
on a bicycle, that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Cross
Right.
training is
Yeah.
great.
And there's been a big fitness craze with at home gyms as of
Mm-hmm.
lately, when they closed down the gyms and everything. So I know a lot of people have their fitness systems set up. And that kind of brings me to my next question. We
Sure.
know that we should be moving our bodies. We know
Mm-hmm.
we need to be exercising. We know fitness is important, but can you talk about why, specifically for women in midlife, why is exercise so important for them to think about their fitness? And go as detailed as you want here.
Well, I'm not a scientist. I can come at you from a certified personal trainer and an athlete myself. Um, First of all, why wouldn't you? And you should be. Everybody knows that they should be active, but it is so easy to fall into that sitting in your chair all day at your desk and then moving from your chair to the couch and from the
Right.
couch to the bed. And then it starts all over again. But when you don't move your body, you will get to a point in your future where your body is going to be like, all those days when you could have been moving and you didn't, now you want to move, and I'm not going to let you today, you know, or you don't work on your core and your balance when you have the opportunity to. And in 10 years, you fall because you don't have any balance, and you break a hip because you don't have any muscle mass that you've been working on for years. So it's as much as we need it in today in midlife to keep our minds clear, to you know help us cardiovascularly, and to build muscle. It benefits us almost more in 10 and in 20 years. It's never too late to start exercising. I'm not saying that if you don't start now, then, it doesn't do you good. You will always benefit from starting. The benefit just won't be as great if you don't start today, not tomorrow, not the day after that, today. So it's imperative. It really is. I don't know how else to say that. I don't want to scare people, but there are so many benefits other than um physically with exercise. I have never felt terrible on the other side of a workout, of a walk, of a jog, of aerobics or a bike ride. Um, there, when you exercise, you get endorphins pumping through your body that feel good, that you can't get from, sitting on the couch watching Netflix for 3 hours, and it doesn't take a lot. We're not talking about working out 2 hours every day. Uh, if you can get in 30 minutes, say 5 times a week, that's 2.5 hours out of a whole week. That's
Mhm.
like no time at all. There are so many people who are like, well, I don't have that much time. I don't have, and I say, yeah, that's not true. Everybody has a half an hour a day. If you really start taking inventory of what you're spending time doing every single day, I guarantee you can pull 15 minutes or 5 minutes of time here and there on things to be able to put together 30 minutes to get something done.
Yeah. I agree completely. And
Yeah.
really break it up if you have to. I talk about this with my clients too. If you only have 10 minutes in the morning, do 10 minutes.
Right.
Go on an afternoon walk on your lunch break. Everybody should be moving and away from their desk on their lunch break if they're able to. I realize
Mm-hmm.
there are other professions where you're a teacher, nurse, whatever, you don't have a typical lunch break. I get
Right.
that. But if you are working in an office setting and you get a lunch break, take it. Take it and go walk around the building, walk around the block, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You need that fresh air. You need to get the sun on your skin. You need to get away from the fluorescent lights.
Mm-hmm.
The mind and body benefits that you get from moving your body every day, you just can't surpass that.
Right.
You're not going to get that by just being busy. You might feel like, well, I was so busy all day, but what did you really do for yourself, your own body? We give so much to our jobs and our body starts failing. You
Right.
hear it all the time. You get into retirement and then you're sick. You
Mm-hmm.
hear about these people. They've worked so hard. They finally retire at 65, 67, and then within 6 months, they're in the hospital. You know, I have to wonder like, there's got to be more to life than that, right? Of course
Right.
there is.
Right.
And God does not want us to be sad, sick, and stuck. So we need to be moving our bodies too, which also gives us the beautiful brain benefits. And the important thing is, I think, too, is to find what you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you enjoy.
Right. The other thing that I would like to mention to piggyback off of that is that, there are a lot of us that we aren't willing to spend 30 minutes on ourselves, because, self-care is selfish, which is not true.
Not true.
Not true at all. But, if you are in that mindset, um, you can look at exercise in the way of, if you get that break, that small break, get some fresh air and move around a little bit, you're going to be better at everything you do, which means, if work is so super important, if you take a 10-minute break, you're going to be so much more focused when you come back to it. You will probably even be more engaged and more productive in what you're doing. You will, if you spend that little bit of time on yourself, you're going to be a better spouse. You're going to be a better mother, a better friend, better daughter. Because, sometimes we just have to put ourselves first. And when we do that, everybody around us benefits.
I agree 100%. Self-care is not selfish. It is absolutely mandatory. And, we are to take care of ourselves as the temple of the Holy Spirit. And that's why God incorporated the Sabbath. He didn't do it for us to follow a rule that He created. No, He did it for us because we have to rest. We have to rest this human body because, He knew how we were going to be in that go, go, go mentality.
Right.
Just going and doing and always trying and striving. And so this is an opportunity for us to rest, which is a whole other conversation. But the benefits, again, that you get from moving your body even a few times a day, separated, morning, lunchtime, maybe when you get home. I even love those HIIT workouts that you can do for 4 to 6 minutes, that
Oh
you can
yeah.
do where you're going to break a sweat, but
Right.
it's not like that dripping cardio sweat. So you could actually do that in your office if you needed to, but you come back focused, more
Right.
alert. You don't need that afternoon coffee pick me up. You don't need to go hit the vending machine or whatever platter is out there in the break room that somebody brought
Exactly.
in,
Exactly.
because you just gave
You've
your
got it
body,
naturally.
you
Yeah.
got it naturally. And so that's why it's so important. And, I know that that's a mission that you have, is to like educate everybody on how important movement really is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that I like to touch on is the fact that, a lot of people, they know they need to do this, and or they used to, and now that they have an empty nest and they've forgotten how to prioritize themselves. They've
Yes.
forgotten how to, well, I want to do that, but how do I do that? Um, and a lot of times it's just as easy as figuring out what the first step is. And once you take the first step, then the next step is natural. And then it gets easier and easier as you go. So I like to help midlife women specifically learn how to prioritize and focus on themselves, and give them permission, first of all, to do this for themselves. And second, to show them how to get started and how to begin to be consistent, because doing it once, not going to do much for you. You have to build a habit. Being motivated is one thing, but being consistent is another.
I agree 100%. So could you share with us a quick win that my listeners can implement right now to get them started on their fitness journey?
Um, I would say to get started, uh, what you need to do is, this is what I always tell the people that I'm working with. It's much more than just doing the things. Sometimes you have to prepare yourself. You have to work on yourself first. What I like for women to do is to go stand in front of the mirror and look at themselves and have a conversation with this woman in the mirror. Not look in the mirror as if you're, fixing your hair or putting your makeup on, but really looking at yourself. First of all, realizing how awesome you already are, because you were built that way. But second of all, to be honest with yourself. This is just a conversation that you're having with yourself. You're not sharing this with anybody. Have a conversation with yourself about how you feel. How do you feel in your body? Did you used to be active, but you're not active anymore, and you're just getting really, you don't have much stamina, or you're tired of having to sit down to rest because every time you climb a flight of stairs, you're getting tired. Or are you tired of seeing that muffin top? I mean, honestly, what do you want to change? What do you love about yourself? And what would you like to change? And then sit down and write those things out, and how you feel today. And then you start making a plan of how you're going to change those things. And that's where good nutrition and fitness start to play into a good health journey, because you don't know how far you have to go unless you know where you're starting from. So really being honest with yourself is the first place to start, I think.
That's really good advice. Yeah, for sure. Because you want to be focusing on what your body needs
Mhm.
and not what somebody else thinks that your body needs. So
Right,
it's really, this
exactly.
is very personal. This is a
Yeah,
very personal
it's a
moment.
person. Yeah, exactly.
And it's a personal, it's your body. So you are like, I teach everybody, you are your best advocate for your health. So that
Hmm.
includes mind, body, soul, spirit. You need to be the one in charge. And I love that. Just, some women have a hard time doing that, being honest with themselves. And I love that you're just encouraging them to gently be honest with themselves.
Yep.
And that's the first step, and go from there. And I would just add too, ask the Lord for help, because he will lead you and guide you. And we can't, some things are just too hard for us to do by ourselves, right? Some things we might have a lifetime of baggage that we really need to unpack, and we need to
Right.
get that support from. So, ask for help, reach out, and, certainly ask the Lord for help too. So
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how can our listeners find you? Like, what are your socials? What's the best way for them to find you?
Well, probably the best would be my podcast. I do a podcast called Redesigning Midlife, and it's where I help midlife women prioritize their health and wellness now so that they can live happier now and longer later. So I'm dealing with all kinds of, subjects on fitness and nutrition and wellness and mindset and all those sorts of things. Um, I also have I have the starting place. I was talking about, I like coaching women to figure out how to get started on this new health journey at midlife, because I do think everything at midlife is just a little bit different, and uh we deserve special treatment, really, specialization. I mean, um and I have built a 30-day kind of a starting point program where I give simple nutrition. We work on food triggers and how you feel in your body. And then I have, low impact, moderate cardiovascular and resistance training workouts for women. It's a 30-day kind of self-directed program. So if it takes you 60 days, it takes you 60 days. That's fine. And that is available on my website, which is that's Lesley, Lesley, McShane.com. And I'm really excited about that, because I have been working with some women and one-on-one, and whenever, it's like we have an initial call and they don't know what to do and they're confused, and we talk for about an hour, and then I follow up with them over the month. And when I start seeing light bulbs go off and they start seeing a little bit of good results and movement of that health journey needle, and they just want to keep going and keep going, it makes me so happy, because they deserve to be happy and they deserve the best. They absolutely deserve the best. And you can only give that to yourself. I can only help push you in that direction, but when you see women get it and want it, it means the world. So those are the two best places. I am on Instagram at Lesley L. McShane, and you can find me there too.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I think we could talk for another 30 minutes, but
Oh, I guarantee you we could.
for sure we could, for sure. But I'm so glad that we were able to talk and, hopefully give some encouragement to our listeners today, and that they can just start with just really
That's right.
looking yourself in the eye and loving yourself and giving yourself grace.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Have a wonderful day, and we will talk with you soon.
Thanks so much for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Sure, Lesley. Take care. All right. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Lesley McShane, and I will have all of her contact information in the show notes. And one more thing before you go, today is the absolute last day to get 23% off a 30-day gentle cleanse and detox that I have been offering for the entire month of January. You can get this 30-day gentle cleanse and detox at any time. However, this is the last day where it will be 23% off. So be sure to reach out to me right now if you want to take advantage of these savings. This 30-day cleanse and detox will help you get off the diet roller coaster so that you can feel good in your body by eating whole foods regularly and not feeling deprived. So because I promised I would keep it through the whole month of January, today is it. It is the last day. This discount expires tonight. So if you have been waiting, you need to grab your spot now. If you want to reduce your inflammation and get back some energy with some great potential for some weight loss, reach out to me today. Click the link in the show notes and let's get your session on the books. Okay, friend, may the Lord bless you. May He keep you. May He make His face shine upon you, and may He give you peace. In Jesus' name.